Alright, today we're doing a really fun video, in my opinion, a Q&A. I did like a Q&A on my Instagram, and so you guys could ask questions about my relationship with Sebastian and our relationship in general. So I got a list of some really good questions. You guys asked some really good questions, so
let's do it.
Let's get to it. So the first one is, how did you and Rob meet? So
That's the story.
Yeah, so me and Rob actually met because of my dad. My dad worked with Rob at their previous job for over a year before he even mentioned that he worked with Rob. But it was around his birthday that he started talking about this guy at work that's really cute, and I don't really know why he randomly brought him up to me, but he did. And he kind of nonstop talked about it for the past few days before his birthday.
Like, Dad, do you like him?
And then, my dad always tried to, oh, that guy's cute. Oh, that guy's cute. Like, he always was like that. But, so he started talking about Rob, and then my dad's birthday comes around, and we all went to dinner, like me, my dad, my sister, and my brother. And then after that, we all went to Gio's, which is like a bar here.
Like a pool and bar kind of place.
Pool and bar kind of place. And he invites Rob. And he's like, oh, he's coming tonight. He's coming tonight. You better look pretty. He's coming tonight, all this stuff. And,
like she doesn't always.
And so we go, and I was like, I had gotten out of a relationship not too long before that, so I was really not in the mindset for another relationship. I was like, oh, okay, I'll meet him, but I'm not really thinking about that. So we met, and my dad just coincidentally put us on the same pool team. It was me and him versus my dad and my sister, which we won. And for those of you that know, my dad owned a pool bar, and they only lost because of my sister. It was not because of him.
If you know me, you know I'm really bad.
Yeah.
I wasn't that great either.
Yeah, but we won. But
we won that one game on us, on our skills.
For my perspective, at least of the story, I had known that he was trying to hook us up for a while. Not a while, but a few days before his birthday, and then during the whole thing, but I really didn't think anything of it, honestly. And we left that night, and I still I was like, yeah, he's really cute, but I really didn't think anything of it. And then that Monday, him and my dad were talking, and we all started talking, but we can do another video on that. But my dad's who got us together. So you want to say your perspective of meeting me?
Yes. So mine was a little different. So since I wasn't his child,
what does that mean?
He's a very intense person. If you knew her dad, he's very loud, he's in your face, he's gonna tell you how he feels, even when you don't want to hear it and you never ask for it. So when
but he'll laugh while he says it.
Yes.
Anything.
It's very confusing. It's I hate you. I don't know how to react. So. Yeah. That weekend or that day on his birthday was a Saturday, and I remember the exact places we went to and everything to this day. I remember that day very clearly, and I can't remember anything. And he just kept on yapping about going out for his birthday, which I was already hesitant not going. And just because I just hadn't been going out, I just really hadn't been feeling. It was nothing against him. I just really was kind of going through things, and I just was not feeling going out mood. And he was just you will never talk to my girls, there's no way, da. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not afraid of no girl, not that much. So he kind of hyped it up, but I had no idea he had been talking to you about me. I didn't know that. I just thought he was just doing one of those
see how
macho, blah, 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 whatever. So when I ended up going, and when I got there, I saw a couple of my other buddies, and they were playing some game in the corner, and then I looked over, and I saw Skylar and her dad and stuff hanging out, and I'm like, oh, hey guys, I'm just gonna go over there. So we started talking and, I mean, hit it off from the get-go. She talked about school a lot, which she's like, nerd in her mind. I'm just like, I'm in love. Because she was just so, like, passionate about, like, her school, and she was very motivated, and she just had a lot of characteristics of things that I was looking for. But let's be real, I didn't think I had any chance. Plus, I had Sebastian.
Well, first, we'll just say this one real fast, and then we'll go into the next one. But what was your first impression of me?
Pretty much like that. I was like, you're like beautiful, and she was so sweet, and she was just so easy to talk to. Like, her dad, like, sometimes the way he would say things would kind of, like, be like, okay, I'm not sure what you mean there. So I wasn't really exactly sure, like, her lifestyle and everything, and how she, like, what if she was a big partier and all that. So
yeah, he hyped me up to be way cooler than I am.
But, no, like, it wasn't enough hype. So when I met her, I was like, oh.
He was not expecting a nerd, and everything I was saying was definitely nerd. Like, I think the whole time I talked about school. And it was just like,
yes, and yes. Like, everything she was saying, I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I didn't. Like, if we're talking specifically the first night, I still thought, like, after that first night,
yeah,
there wasn't much
We'll
chance.
make a video on how we actually, like, started talking our first date and stuff, but, okay, so now we'll say, like, the next question that he kind of said, did it feel, like, how did you feel, like, having a son and being a single father, trying to, find a relationship, or find the right person?
It was a little difficult. It was actually really hard, and before I met Skylar, I was probably on the verge of just not caring anymore and just going with, like, I have my son and that's all I need, and I'll just do what I have to for him, because every other person I had even started any kind of friendship, any relation, anything with, it just ended so quickly because a lot of it had to do with Sebastian. So it's very easy to start getting negative and just saying, well, forget you guys, I guess this isn't what you want, so then I'll just be me and him. So yeah, I was pretty much at a point where I was like, I don't really care anymore, which I probably helped with the nerves too, because I was just like,
yeah, it helps
in my
a lot.
mind, I didn't think I had much chance, and I just figured everything had been going a certain way, so I was like,
it helped a lot with the nerves, especially because, like, we both were not, like, really looking for it. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna matchmake you with this guy, like, or whatever. Like, we both were genuinely like, oh, we're not looking for a relationship. So we just got to, like, a different kind of comfort level before, like, we even started dating. So but little did he know, I actually knew he had a son already. So he hadn't mentioned him to me, like, the first, like, week that we were dating. He hadn't mentioned him, but then he had said something about that he had worked 2 jobs at that time. I mean, he still works 2 jobs, but he was talking about how he worked 2 jobs at the time, and they are both, like, very demanding hour-wise, and I was like, wow, this is a great time for me to, like, just break the ice and tell him I know about his kid. So I was like, wow, that must be, like, I was like, I have,
guess
like,
what?
I was like, that must be really hard with a kid. Like, I have mad respect for you, because I genuinely do. Like, I don't understand why. I mean, I understand why people maybe don't want that lifestyle yet. I mean, people like their freedom. But for me, like, it really didn't faze me much, except that, like, there's gonna be another kid in my life. Like, I already have a bunch of, like, younger cousins, so, and I love being around them. Mm-hmm. So it really didn't faze me that much. The next question is, how did I meet Sebastian? So the first time I met Sebastian was actually a couple months after we had dated, and it was because he had to work a night shift, but no one else was available to watch Sebastian. So I was like, hey, like, I know we haven't been dating that long, but I can watch him if you want me to, like, for the night, because it was only going to be from like 6 p.m. till 2 a.m. So I was like, he's going to be sleeping. I think I can manage. So, and like I said, I had tons of kids in my life already. He was like, okay, well, my mom will be there until 6, and then you can pick up for her there. And I was like, okay. So I go there at 6, and his mom opens the door, and
traps her inside.
This kid comes running naked out from around the corner and like slides all over the floor after he just had a bath.
That's Sebastian.
I was like, oh, this must be Sebastian. So actually his mom didn't even end up leaving till like 11 o'clock that night, so I really didn't get any one-on-one time with Sebastian. It was pretty much her talking to me. If you know his mom, like, she talks a lot, and she was talking to me like the entire time from 6 to 11. So I couldn't, like, I literally couldn't even text Rob to tell him that I made it there, to tell him that, like, I was good, like, his mom left. And Rob was freaking out because that was 5 hours that I wasn't replying. So he's like, probably thinking I murdered his family. But
I never thought that, first of all.
But I didn't want to be disrespectful because that was also my first time meeting her. And I was like, I didn't want, you know, like, she's talking to me. I didn't want to be on my phone. But
I was just worried, like, something had happened, but not, like, you murdered them, like...
Well, that's what was going through my head.
Freaking,
He's
like,
probably... Because that was the
Jason.
first time that I was alone with his kid, / the first time I met the kid and wasn't even with Rob. So it's like, oh, he's probably, like, thinking some stuff. But it was fine. And, yeah. So
I almost left work, though.
Yeah. So that's the first time I met Sebastian, which, like, he literally fell asleep to me and his mom talking on the floor in his room because she wouldn't stop talking. Like, I didn't even get to talk to Sebastian at all. So my first impression of him was just that he's wild, and he is wild. He still is wild, but
good first impression.
But yeah, he's fun. Oh, I met him when he was 2, by the way. So he's still wild now, but he is 4 now. So there's definitely a lot of differences from back then.
So much.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, the next question is it awkward dating a man with another woman's child? Very intense way to ask, but
okay.
We're here for it. So is it awkward in the sense, like, yes, it's awkward in the sense that, like, the ex is still involved kind of thing. Like, you know, in a normal relationship, like, once you break up with someone, they're not really involved in your new relationship. So it's kind of awkward in that sense, and it definitely took an adjustment period to, like, understand, like, that, like, he has another girl in his life that, like, will ultimately be in my life because we all are going to be taking care of Sebastian, which at first obviously wasn't going through my head because, like, I don't know why I didn't think about, like, whenever I thought about dating him and knowing he had a kid, I never really thought about, like, the kid's mom. Like, I don't know why that never, like, crossed my mind, but it didn't. I'd also say it's, like, awkward in the sense of, like, not really awkward, but it's, like, he's already had a kid and, like, I haven't. So, like, that experience I feel like is kind of already, like, taken. Like, I know it's not, like, our experience will be different, but, like, I do always, like, think about that and, like, oh, he's already had a kid, but, like, it would be his second time around with me. I don't know. But just being, like, honest and, like, genuine, like, I do think of that sometimes, like, that, like, he already has gone through all of this with someone else.
Yeah.
And that is awkward. But it's, I mean, you can't change it.
And, but like she says, like, this is a totally different relationship. I mean, things are a lot different. And, I mean, just thinking about having a kid with you just, like, makes me light up.
Uh-huh.
So, I think when it comes down to like our connection and how we feel for each other and everything, like I understand like Sebastian wasn't, you know, our first kid together, but like when we get to that point, which who knows, it could be soon. Just kidding.
Definitely not.
No. Like I can't wait. Like I really, like I never really imagined having kids, like ever, even with Sebastian. So like when with Skylar, when we met, and like I knew she had certain, you know, things that she would like in life. I mean, I knew she obviously she some women aren't really big in getting married and stuff. Like I knew Skylar was like, yo, where's that ring at?
Definitely want to get
And I knew she loved kids, obviously.
Definitely want some babies.
And like I don't know, it's like lights turned on in my head, and I started like thinking about things that I never really like would think about that often. And I always bug her with this, but all the time, I'm always, like not all the time, but pretty often I think about her being pregnant because of how cute she's gonna be.
Oh my god.
She's gonna be so cute. And I mean, she's gonna be so beautiful. Like, so, like, I don't know, just thinking about that journey and that experience that we're gonna like have together one day. I mean, I'm ready for it. I'm stoked. I think it's gonna be the most amazing thing ever. And I'm just lucky that, you know, I have somebody like you to be able to experience it with. And
The next question was, how did you meet Sebastian's mom, and what was your first impression of her? So like we already said, like I'm solely referring to this as like my experience. So the first time I met Sebastian's mom was Halloween, and it was very awkward because she had already stated that she wanted it to be a family thing and that I was not invited to it. But Rob still wanted me to go, so I still went. And I introduced myself and stuff, but we didn't like talk at all, so it was very awkward. But
yeah.
So yeah, I really didn't think that she liked me very well. I really like. I didn't really know what to do at that point because like, do I reach out to her and like talk to her or wait for her? Like I really didn't know how to go about it.
I feel like everybody was like in a weird
yeah, we
weird
were all
state of, like what
like we've already
to
said,
do.
like no one knew. It was new for everyone. But so it actually was like a year after our relationship started or whatever that I reached out to her and we started talking, and we really just got to know each other better, which I think helped so much because I think like no one, like we said, no one really know what to do, but just like talking to each other and like knowing more about each other and being more comfortable with each other and talking to each other made everything so much better. And so we're all like on a good page now and everything, and have like a open communication, and which is good because it should be that way for Sebastian's sake. Like we all want the best for him at the end of the day.
For our sakes too.
And
everybody's sakes.
Yeah, and just so everyone's happy. Like you don't want to ever be uncomfortable. So in a situation that's like lifelong. So so yeah. Kind of the same thing, but for you, like what is it like having your ex still in your life and your current relationship? How do you balance that?
It was a challenge. I mean, I didn't know how to deal with it at first because adjusting to still having an ex not only in my life but now, you know, trying to then like have a new relationship, and like we're going through, like we're learning about each other and we're going through times and we're doing things, and then you have Sebastian, like there's so much stuff going on, and then like to still then like have an ex involved, and then to try to keep everybody at like a a happy state, or at least like everybody's like content kind of thing, was like definitely rough. But like she was saying, the communication, like once the communication like got a little bit better, like I think things kind of like worked itself out. But yeah, there was some rough moments. Like I'm not gonna sit there and like act like there wasn't. I mean, there was times when like I didn't quite react to something correctly, or this or that, and I feel like it's just a learning experience. It's like anything in life. Like if you've never done it before, you can't just expect to go through something and then like just to work out like perfectly. There'd be like no issues. So I mean, I think over time, like we've gotten better at it. I think everybody's communication's better. I think everybody's on a better page, and you know, I think everybody's good. So I mean, there's challenging moments in anything. You just have to be able to overcome them. And like I said, communication is like, it literally always comes back to that.
Yeah.
If you can't communicate with like the people that are like, that are near you, or, you know, with your relationship, then you're going to have a lot of issues, because there's just going to be a lot of moments, like pretty much all the time, where you need to be able to communicate.
Did it take any time or adjustment to fit into the role of being a mom, or did it come naturally? So, I'm not, I wouldn't consider myself like a mom figure. He has a mom, so that position is taken care of. But as far as like going from like being myself to now being in a relationship where I am like responsible for a child half the time, as in like when he's with our weeks, like that is a lot to take in. But I've also always wanted kids. I've adored kids. I'm always at the kids table at any event. Like
The best table.
I love kids, and I've always like, I want kids. So whenever like I realized that, like, you know, when you're in a relationship with someone with a kid, like you are going to have to like step up in some aspects, is like helping them with whatever, like feeding them, cooking for them, like entertaining them, all of that. Like you are
chasing his naked body down the hallway. That's happened.
having the most embarrassing moments with him. Oh my god, that could be another question.
That's a whole nother vlog.
That's, oh my god. But yeah, but as far as like if it came naturally or if it was adjustment, I definitely think it was natural to me, because I just love kids in general. So it really wasn't too hard. The only like hard time was when which will be, I guess, another vlog, or talked about, unless you already know me and know what happened. But like I had like pretty much the worst thing ever happened to me, and after that I was not very emotionally stable at all. And so dealing with a toddler was very difficult for me. So there was like a time where I was like, hey, like I can't do this right now. I need to step back from this role, and like I think that it's best that like I don't see him for these couple months, because like I had to deal with myself first, and like acknowledge that I needed healing before I could deal with a toddler. And he's a boy, he's wild, he's crazy, like he demands your time. And
yes, he is.
When you're already like going through something, it's very difficult to do that, to take care of someone when you can't take care of yourself, essentially. So yeah, so it's pretty natural. We're all good now, like everything's good.
But I'm back. Don't worry. Had to get my lunch out for tomorrow. But going off of what she was just talking about, the becoming a mom rule, whatever you want to call it. She's not, like we said, you know, Sebastian has a mom, but she walked in from the get-go and was always loving, caring, was there for him, did you know, good night, you know, doing the whole routines of like reading books and cooking dinner together, like all that stuff. So like, since he does have a mom, and we
it's like a bonus mom, if you want to call it that.
Exactly. Like, does a lot of things that you would consider as a mom still. So which, you know, was really awesome from my point of view because I didn't want to ever like push too much on her or anything and make her feel like, you know, I was trying to, you know, make like a mom out of her, I guess, if you know what I'm saying. Like, saying,
Yeah.
but it always felt like when
you also were looking for someone who would care for your child too, like.
Exactly, like I wasn't expecting like, oh, here, take him.
Yeah, but you also weren't expecting like, you do all the work, like.
Yeah, like just pretend he's not there and we just
Yeah.
do date nights when he's a babysitter or something. Like that just, he's such an important part of my life. If the connection's not with him as well, like that kind of.
That's important.
That kind of hurts it. So like, she from the get-go has always been a huge part of his life as well. So that was really, really important, and I think helped us a lot. So
yeah. Okay, the next question is, what is your favorite thing to do with Sebastian? So I really love baking with him. Sebastian is very wild. So whenever like you can do things that like kind of like make him focus and like yet it's still exciting to him, like I really like that. Because you see like the calmer side of him, and I don't know, I just really enjoy it because I feel like it's little cute moments. And I also like when we color, we do like some coloring stuff, and like most of the time what I like to do when we color is like do like a theme. So we'll have like, we have pictures, but we have like a jungle theme, and so I'll say like, well, name what's in the jungle, and so he will name a lion, then I'll draw a lion, and then if he doesn't know what one of the animals looks like, then we like go watch a little video on it, and so that he can like see it and all that kind of stuff. So I really enjoy doing that with him because I think it's nice to see him like calm and focused and excited about things, not just running around. What's yours?
That's a good question. I enjoy a lot of things with Sebastian. He pretty much makes everything we do is gonna be entertaining in some way or another,
Well,
even if it's tough or not.
Your favorite.
But one of the things that we've done a lot, in particular, especially like over the last year, was he got a bike. He's had for like probably a little over a year now, a year and a couple months.
Yeah.
And he is obsessed with his bike. If we want to go bike riding every day, he would probably be okay with that. So, and we have a park that's
right down the road,
2 blocks away, and so it's kind of like a bonus, like get to ride the bike and get to go to the park. So those are really fun, and especially they've gotten more fun over the months when he actually started doing it on his own more.
Yeah.
So there wasn't as much of my back hurting and trying to keep his balance and hold him and hunch over, you know, for like 30 minutes. So he's gotten a lot better now. I can pretty much almost jog or walk by him, and except for the really huge hill in the park. We haven't conquered that one yet. Yeah. The hilarious thing is when he hit a hill, like one of his first hills he ever hit. He was riding his bike. He had it. He's like, I got this. I got this. He hit a hill, started going up it, got maybe 1/10 there. And then all of a sudden he looks at me. He starts going back. He's like, my bike is broken. My bike is broken. I was like, no, you're just not using your legs, son.
Yeah.
You better move those legs. And he's just like, it's broken. He got off. He didn't know what to do. He's like, okay, new bike, Dad. Let's go. I'm like, so we haven't quite conquered some of the hill part yet, but his biking skills are getting a lot better. So that's really fun to do with him. He loves it, and it's outdoors, so I love going outdoors.
And then our last question is, what is our favorite thing to do together?
Easy. What we're doing now, talking.
Yeah, we love talking. But aside from talking, we love going on adventures together. We love going to new places, just around town, not anything crazy because we are broke, but just doing fun things together. We like doing spontaneous things?
Probably somebody asked me like after we've been dating for like 6 or 7 months, like what do you guys like to do? And I had to sit there and pause because I was like,
yeah.
We went to one movie the first month we started dating. We went and saw Mission Impossible movie that I really wanted to go see, which she could care less about, but she went with me because
I like Mission Impossible.
You wouldn't have went by yourself or like went with your friends or something to go see that movie.
No, because the movies are so expensive.
But we went and did that. And then other than that, I don't think we ever watched a TV show. Like I'm serious, like not even an episode. And we might have watched like bits and pieces of a movie, but never the full thing.
Okay, but
like,
also
it never happened.
When we first started dating, there was like a time. Well, okay, our first date, we didn't even. That wasn't a question, but our first date lasted from.
It was probably about 7.
It was like 7 at night to like
5
in the morning. Literally just sitting in a parking lot talking the entire time.
Because that could be a whole video.
We can do like a video on our first date kind of thing, but that lasted for a while. Like there was so many days where we would like stay up until like 2, 3, 4 in the morning just talking, and like we're not even phased by the time until we had to wake up a couple hours later.
Well, her in school, I wasn't in school yet, but I was still working the 2 jobs, and then like with the house and Sebastian. Like, we only had usually a couple days a week where we like actually get to hang out with each other. And usually those nights would start off late because of Sebastian. So we were not even hanging out until past 8 or 9. And I don't know how many days I went to work on like an hour's sleep.
Wait, we can talk about that in that.
But to answer the question, talking. That is my favorite thing to do. It doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter how late it is. Doesn't matter how early.
So we never had that awkward moment where there was like silence. Like
we've never had that. Ever.
I
won't shut up.
Yeah.
And if I do, then you start talking.
Yeah.
We're always talking. Like one of us is more quiet, the other one's like talking about something. Like it's always like somebody. And we're always open to listening to each other's
Obviously
stuff.
now we're better about watching movies now that we live together. we watched Outer Banks, the whole thing of Outer Banks. So good. Highly recommend. Such a good show.
We binged that quick.
Yeah.
It was a very good show.
But if you guys have any other questions, just comment them down below and like this video if you like seeing this kind of content.
Hit the subscribe button, please.
Hit the subscribe button too. And if you have any content ideas that you want us to share, that you want us to go more in depth on, anything like that, just let us know. We are happy to make any kind of video.
And we really enjoy doing these videos.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool to sit down and just talk.
Just chat, yeah.
About our lives, and I want to hear about y'all's.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to get some feedback. Maybe you guys have like a funny first date story or situations similar to this or other things. It'd be cool, like, that you guys can, comment below and tell us a little bit, because we'll message you back and think it's an awesome way to interact. We
are those people that it is literally so exciting when people like message saying how they support our channel, and they're like
it's really
so
cool.
excited that they're like that we're making a vlog. I'm like, I feel so loved. Like, I feel so special. So we really, really, really care about you guys and all the support that y'all have for us. So that is all for tonight. So we will see you